Wolverine Field. The Wolverine Band performing their state performance piece for the crowd here on senior night, pink night as well. And it's all been Douglas under the bright full moon here as neither team has come back out onto the playing surface as of right now. John Gabrielson, Tyler Watson. And taking care of some business here real quick. Trying to get back on at 105.1 Jack FM on the radio as well as the YouTube stream. Unofficially, Wolverines 248 yards in the first half. They did so on 37 plays, and they just could not really generate much other than the 189-yard drive on 7 plays in which they would see Dominic Payne run for a couple of big runs and then a 44-yard pass to Ty Sheets, touchdown, and then the PAT by Hunter Salzgaver, their only points. But then it was quickly after that the Douglas Bearcats scored quickly, and the Douglas Bearcats scored often. Douglas 361 total yards on 27 plays, and Tyler Watson, they did so on a 7-yard pass play, a 24-yard drive, a minute 38-yard drive, and a 35-second drive in this ball game. So it's been the Bearcats striking quick and often in this contest.
And they've shown they're the real deal tonight. And I knew coming in that it was going to be a tough game for Riverton. We'd have to play our best ball to be, give ourselves a shot to win.
It's almost deja vu, honestly, to last year when Riverton went to Jackson and played and lost 29-17 or 27-19 if I'm juxtaposing numbers. But they went to Jackson and played very well up there and had momentum and confidence, and then went and got beat 49-0 at Douglas the next weekend and got beat up. They lost kids in that. Cade, I think, got a concussion. Jackson Hill got lost in that ball game with a broken hand. I think some other players got hurt in that contest as well. And knock on wood, luckily nobody's been hurt in this one, but it's almost the same kind of situation. Riverton played very well against Lander on Monday. Then they come here today and just kind of get shell-shocked by the Bearcats here at 42-7.
And there's a lot to be said. It's a quick turnaround. Monday night, it was a tough physical game, and the emotional letdown, too, losing to your rivals the way that you do. And then to come back 3 nights later and play, legitimately the best team in the East and a semifinal team year in and year out. It's no easy task.
Choi said it was like playing on a Tuesday because Monday was a Friday, Tuesday was a Saturday, Wednesday was a Sunday, yesterday was the Monday, and then you're back at it again today. So you're playing on a Tuesday if you counted the Lander game a Friday. And yeah, that's unfortunate that they have to do that, but due to the weather and everything else, that's exactly how that goes. So let's take a look at some individual stats on the stat line right now in the first half. Trey Wren, 10 of 14, 194 yards and 3 touchdowns. It's a pretty solid performance by the junior QB.
He's impressed me. He looks like a great all-state quarterback, and it's no wonder that they had to move Jackson Hughes to another position that he's good at.
Well, he's done pretty well there. 3 rushes, 72 yards, and a touchdown. He's also caught 2 passes in the ball game as well. Carson Ewing, 5 rushes, 39 yards. Trey Wren, very elusive running the ball, 5 carries for 56 yards and a touchdown. He also fumbled once in this ball game as well. Brock Pyle, 4 catches, 135 yards, and a touchdown for Brock Pyle. Jackson Hughes, 2 catches, 8 yards. Luke Skeen, 2 catches, 19 yards. Carson Ewing, 2 catches, 32 yards. And 27 plays, 361 yards for the Douglas Bearcats. Wolverines, they would run 37 plays, 10 more plays, and about 123 yards less at 248. But still, I marvel. I mean, that's a pretty good performance for the Wolverine first half at 248 yards.
Without your starting quarterback.
Yes, exactly. And Braden Vincent has just won a raffle that the team is putting on out there at the mid-court stripe, so to speak. Rushing the ball, Dominic Payne, by far his best output as a Wolverine this season. 8 carries, 80 yards for Dom right now. Braden Vincent, 2 carries for 16. Nathan has 10 carries for 34 yards. Nathan, 9 of 16, 172 yards in the air, but he has given up the ball twice on interceptions. Cade has 2 catches for 26. Ty has 2 for 46. Nick has 5 for 40. That might have came on the first 4 or 5 passes of the contest as well. Let's take a 1-minute timeout. We'll come back with a second half. We'll give you some scores and more. This is Wolverine football on county10.com, down 42-7 at the break.
Back when I was riding in rodeos, I always made sure I was locked in, good and tight. Now as a touring musician, crisscrossing the country, I still make sure I'm locked in, good and tight. Of course I do.
Hauling ass, heading south, down the road in a gray Cadillac, coupe to Bill.
Buckle up for life, Wyoming.
If you're looking to get upgrades on your vehicle done with bumpers, grill guards, and bed liners, shop locally. Instead of traveling the extra mile to an out-of-town shop, take it to the premier local shop here in Fremont County. Wyoming 4x4 has over 25 years of experience under the belt. Dan will take your stock truck and give it the perfect accessory makeover tailored to your vision. Stop at Wyoming 4x4 or give Dan a call at 307-857-3160.
Your home for the Riverton Wolverines is 105.1 Jack FM and County 10's YouTube channel. Go Big Red.
Did I blast you out? Sorry. Thomas did the third, our technical director. I turned his headphones up too loud and blasted him out when we came back from break. Tyler Watson's with me. I'm John Gabrielson. Andrew Sossaman on top of Wolverine Field, and Kyle Nikoloff down there in that huddle looking in at the Cardinal red and black of the Wolverines. Congratulations to Kim Davis and the Wolverine volleyball team. A 3-1 victory tonight over the Green River Wolves. Congratulations to Caden Chatfield. He set a new course record on the cross-country course in Powell this afternoon, taking first place, and the juniors setting a new course record on it in the meantime. And Jayla Griffith qualifying for state swimming yesterday in the last home meet of the Wolverines, recognizing their seniors last night as well. 3A football, Cody leading Star Valley 28-18. Buffalo leads Whirland 21-7. Green River on top of Jackson at the break, 14-10. Lander is beating Rollins 21-0 at the halftime right now as well. So Jackson Hughes is back to receive this, and it'll be a little pooch kick again, fielded by Trenton Pearson, a junior, 6 foot, 126 pounds, and he'll field it at the 41-yard line.
He must be an infielder for the Douglas Legion baseball team. That was a good job of fielding that.
A little short hop. Take it at their own 41-yard line, 1st and 10. We'll see how the Bearcats play this. If they'll try to put that mercy rule into effect and coast it out. We'll send a man in motion. Rin's going to hand it off to Ewing, and he will get drilled. Ryan Cox came in after they'd kind of stood him up, and Cox puts the exclamation point down. Jackson Hill, one of the first Wolverines to get there, a 5-yard carry.
Looks like our defense of backs are coming out in a little different stance. They are man shade inside coverage. So they're saying if you're going to beat us, you're going to beat us man-to-man now.
That motion man was Hughes coming across. He will set up at the top in the slot. Rin comes under center this time. Gives it off to Archuleta, and he will be met first by the Wolverines' Zarek Prosser. Archuleta's going to go 5, and it'll be real close to a first down.
I have a feeling we're going to hear his name a lot for the next 2 years.
Yeah, I've mentioned it before. As you start as a freshman, and Jay Rhodes said that was the first time that's happened in 16 years of him coaching at Douglas. And like I said, to step in at middle linebacker as a freshman and start is pretty darn impressive. Hughes will come in motion. Rin will give it back to Archuleta. He'll be hit from behind. Vincent comes in there to take him down, but the lead tackle was by Jackson Hill.
Good job by the defensive front right there. Looks like Jackson Hughes might have got away with a little bit of a lean towards the end of his motion. Kind of got lazy on it, but nonetheless, it wasn't called.
As the official might have got lazy on the call as well. You guys never do that,
It tends to happen in 42-7 games.
Troy Anderson, the head coach, is also the defensive coordinator, and he coaches from the box, overlooking the shoulder of Talon Yates, excuse me. Rinn going to go to the other side. He's slippery. He'll be held by Vincent by the arm and thrown out of bounds at the 43-yard line. Gain of about 6.
Rinn on the carry. Puts out of bounds by Vincent.
Not very often do you see that happen where it's the long sleeve that allows you to make the tackle.
Again, how many times have they had him hemmed in today and only to not have him hemmed in? As Rinn has been elusive all night long. Archuleta, the carry. Prosser hits him first. He'll be short of the first down.
Archuleta on the carry.
Nice job by Prosser. Payne comes in. Also Jackson Hill helping. Gain of a couple, 4th and 2.
This is probably the easiest 4th and 2 call the head coach will make all year.
Yeah, and you mentioned Archuleta, 5'11", 200 pounds sophomore.
Big kid.
$9:19 remains in the third quarter on the Fremont Therapy scoreboard. They'll go for it. Ball at the 41-yard line. Rinn to Archuleta, hit by Bryce Mason, who tackles him at the 44. He'll lose 3, and that's a turnover on downs. Wolverines will get the football. Great job, Bryce Mason, jumping the snap and getting the tackle.
What a stand. Great job to come out of halftime and you kind of get them fired up and make a stand, and hopefully we can carry it over to our offense.
2:58 on the possession. They run 6 plays, and they give the football back on a good tackle by Bryce Mason, and the Wolverines will have it at their own 44-yard line, 9:02 remaining. Well, I was going to look at time of possession for you at the intermission, but we had to reset our stream, so didn't get a look at that, but heavily in favor of the Wolverines. Dominic Payne, nice tackle by Archuleta as he open field tackles Payne and inflicts a little pain at the line of scrimmage. That was a good tackle.
It really was. Little bit different body types right there.
A little.
So this last play, 20 walked off the edge and he came on a late blitz. We'll see if the coaches upstairs recognize that and throw a quick bubble screen or quick out.
Luke Skeen, number 20 for the Bearcats. Nathan Hutchison, the center, steps up. He'll throw one to the outside over the head of Nick McIntosh at the 50-yard line, incomplete. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 10.
Kyle in the coverage. 3rd down.
Got Ryan Watson leading the cheers behind the cheerleaders on the field for RHS. Vincent and Gabrielson come to the bottom of the screen. Vincent's going to move a little bit closer to the line of scrimmage. Sheets will go in motion. They'll toss the ball to Ty, and Skeen is there and drops him at the 41-yard line. A loss of 4, and it's going to be 4th and 14.
They did a good job playing that play right there. And as much as they jet motion, their defense is usually set up to do a good job stopping the opposing offense when they're doing the jet motions.
So 4th down and about 13 yards to go. Yeah, they had a pretty good read on that. Blocking secondary was good, but he just could not capture that corner to utilize that. Hutchison will boot from his own 42-yard line. Short kick, and it will take a bounce that Cade will drop at the 38-yard line.
Kick down by Gabrielson.
I bet when Nathan decided to come out a couple weeks ago, he had no idea that in 2 weeks he would be the starting quarterback,
Right.
starting safety, and the punter.
Wolverines take 2:09 off the clock and only ran 3 plays, unfortunately. So the Bearcats now at their own 38-yard line is where they will start this drive with 7:33 left. Yeah, I could use a statistician if you were bored. Give the ball to Hughes. Vincent will bring him down by the jersey for a loss of a couple.
Good job right there by Braden to stay with it. He got beat on the inside juke move and to grab cloth and hang on.
Good run by Ben Gardner as well, the senior out there, as Jackson Hughes loses a yard. But a good job by Braden Vincent. Benny Gardner out there giving chase. Senior recognized here tonight on senior night. Bryce Mason sprinting out onto the field quickly as Tyree Harris-Aragon comes off the field. 2nd and 11, ball at the 42-yard line. Give the ball on a little reverse. Dominic Payne hits Carson Ewing. Branson Saltzgaber in there. They'll mark it at the 49. 6-yard carry.
Third down.
It's a good job getting him to the ground right there. There wasn't really any other Wolverine in the area to help him with the tackle, but they were coming. So it was a good job to limit the yardage gained.
3rd and 4, maybe 3rd and 5. As Pyle splits out wide to the bottom of the screen, Jackson Hughes in the slot. I formation next to Wren out of the shotgun. He'll roll out to the right side. Mason giving chase. That ball will be caught by Pyle, and Vincent will bring him out of bounds at the 45-yard line.
They're a well-rounded offense. They can get you on the run and the pass. The receivers do a good job of running routes. And then, you know, the running backs, all of them, numerous running backs they have, do a good job of running the ball.
Mark it at the 46 is where that ball will be. 1st and 10 Bearcats. They move the chains. We're halfway through the 3rd quarter on the Fremont Therapy scoreboard. Archuleta ahead of Ewing in the kind of an I formation next to the shotgun. Play to Jackson, but instead they'll give it to Ewing. Zarek Prosser was the first one to get him, but Ewing keeps his feet moving and drives ahead about 4 more yards as he gets drilled to the surface at the 40. It'll be a 5-yard carry by Carson Ewing. 8 carries, 55 yards tonight by Carson Ewing.
He's a tough kid. He runs super hard. He keeps those legs pumping like you mentioned.
Well, yeah, he's the defending 3A East Player of the Year, and he's all 5'8", 170. I mean, he's hard-nosed when he's got that physique and bringing that kind of enthusiasm to you each down. Deep back is Ewing here out of Wren going under center, and he's going to give it off to Jackson Hughes around the left side. A lot of room to run, and Jackson Hughes will take this one to the house. 41-yard touchdown run. Great downfield blocking by the Bearcats. And a 41-yard touchdown run by Jackson Hughes on I wouldn't call it a reverse as much as maybe a little misdirection.
You know, and that play was set up with the previous 2 run plays to where Jackson Hughes goes in motion. They counter back away from the motion, and then this time they give it to the motion guy.
Wondered what my kid was doing talking to the other bench, but watching that replay, it was dangerously close to him getting blindsided kind of after the play had already been past him.
Hughes' kick is good.
PAT by Hughes is good, and it's 49-7 Bearcats, 5:01 left to play. And we'll take a 30-second timeout, and we'll be back after this. This is the Wolverines and the Bearcats on 105.1 Jack FM.
It's more than clocking in or collecting a paycheck. We are a network of caring professionals who want to be here, dedicated to serving our communities. We are Sage West Healthcare, our 2 campus hospitals in Riverton and Lander. We take pride in our region, our people, and our communities. Located in beautiful central Wyoming, filled with natural recreation in our own backyard. We are neighbors caring for neighbors, a community caring for its own. We are Sage West. We are recruiting the best, like you.
I hope I'm going to come back in, and I don't know if we're going to have time on this one or not. We're going to watch it here, but at the top of your screen, right as he had went past, 50-50 play on that. I think Cade thought either he got clipped, pushed in the back or something, but he went and visited with the official after the fact as well. And
you know, and it's one of those plays, too, where the blocker really didn't have any effect on the play, and as officials, we're trying to eliminate those big blocks that don't have any consequence on the play.
Ty Sheets fields it at the 5. Good block from Saltzgaber. Payne. Sheets gets thrown to the ground 8 yards out of bounds by Cash Tillard. Mark it at the 27, 1st and 10.
Looks like we got a Douglas Bearcat down. And he popped up pretty quick.
Good to see. Don't need anybody hurt on a brisk night tonight in Wolverine country. Dominic Hernandez, 5'10", 190, a junior. Popped right back up, heading to his sideline. Hope he's okay. 1st and 10, Wolverines, their own 27-yard line. Inside of 5 minutes left to play here in the 3rd quarter on the Fremont Therapy scoreboard. This game also brought to you by Wind River Internet, providing the stream on County 10 on the YouTube channel. Hutchison rolling out to his right side. Going to step up and throw one over the head of the intended receiver, as much as throwing it out of bounds perhaps. And it's incomplete for Nathan. 9 of 18 now throwing.
And there was really nothing for him to go there. All the receivers were pretty well covered. You know, that's one of those where he did the best thing he could. Get rid of the ball and not take a hit.
Crowd not quite as big as we saw for the homecoming game. Of course, you're not playing your crosstown rivals after a 7-0 lead either. Great crowd on Monday evening for that overtime game. Hutch gives the ball to Payne, and again, Skeen on that right side defensive end has pretty much been unblocked all night long, and that'll be a 2-yard carry for Dom. 82 yards on 10 carries.
Dominic Hernandez.
And I'm not sure, is that unblocked for a reason? Because they keep kind of running right at him. Usually you run the other way when you leave him unblocked.
Yeah, because I don't see the quarterback reading that either, because he would be looking the other way. So
right.
I'm not really sure. I think that's just maybe Skeen making a play.
Well, and he's right there on that right side. Now he'll sit there, and Hutch will throw one out. It's incomplete. Intended for Nick McIntosh at the 40, and it's 4th down. Nathan 0 for 3 here in the second half passing.
We're looking a little razzled out there as an offense in total.
Which is different than the first half, because they'd put up some good numbers.
It really is. And you know, the lot can be said. Douglas probably made a few adjustments at halftime on the things that were hurting them. And we, have yet to make an adjustment in the second half.
Pyle and Hughes back to receive as we'll run a late Wolverine on. Parker DeVries will snap. Hutch gets it away over Pearson, and it sails out of bounds, tags a helmet on the sideline. I don't think it's going to get into Bearcat territory. They'll mark it right at the 50. 21-yard punt, no return.
Generous spot there.
Yeah, I would have to say that would probably be the same. Tyree Harris-Aragon has had his helmet. That was the helmet that got drilled, as he's not got it on anymore.
Oh, yeah, they did pull his helmet from him.
Second 3 and out. Sorry, Tyler.
No worries. I was just saying, which is a good thing to see when a player is seeing stars. That's the best route to go, especially with a score like this.
Rin's going to chuck it out to the outside. Brody Wagner. He'll be hit and dropped. Looks like his dad, the Rocket. That's Braden Vincent. He's going to lose 7 on that play.
I like that. Yeah. Very similar of Tom wearing number 22 back in 1999.
Definitely so, as Brody Wagner gets drilled. Loss of 7, 2nd and 17, and Ryan Cox going to run out off of that defensive line. Ball marked down the 43-yard line. Give it to the inside. Carrying with it, making players miss. Still on his feet is Luke Ewing, cousin to Carson Ewing. And he's going to take it all the way down
Ewing on the carry
to the 36-yard line.
It's a good way to finish the play by that Douglas offense, but I think they might have got away with pushing the back on Vincent right at the beginning.
21-yard run by Luke Ewing. Again, he's cousin to Carson. His brother Lane, a 3-time state wrestling champion, will be going for that elusive 4-timer club coming up this March. Actually, late February down in the Ford, Wyoming Center for State Wrestling.
One of the most impressive groups you can be a part of.
Riverton's new head wrestling coach was one of them, and Bobby Tillman. Rin hands it off. Wagner snowed under. Vincent Gabrielson and Dominic Payne. 6-yard carry for Wagner. Gets him almost back to 0 yardage. Back to above surface.
Second down.
That's a good job by Payne to chase that from the backside. It's one of those nights where it feels like everywhere we're blitzing, they're running away from it.
We're guessing well, but guessing wrong, unfortunately. Rin will go under center this time. He'll send a man in motion. He'll toss it to the outside. Wagner. He'll come out of bounds near the 30. You see where they mark it.
Run out of bounds by Saltzgaver.
29, gain of 2. Saltzgaver
Third down.
gets credit for the Wolverine tackle. Clock stops at 1:42.
Looks like Douglas has pulled most of their...
Yeah, kind of called off the dogs.
Yep.
In the skill positions. Rin continues to stay at QB. It's going to roll out to throw. Bryce Mason giving chase, throwing to the end zone, incomplete. Intended for Pearson. Gabrielson running with him at the goal line. It's incomplete and 4th down. That is the first incompletion since his second pass of the second quarter. He has reeled off passes of 18, 1 for a touchdown, 60, 11, 7, 21, 12, and now an incomplete. Rin 11 of 16. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 completions in a row. 11 of 16 for 206 yards. Been a pretty penalty-free football game as well.
It looks like they might have got Riverton to jump off sides there. The official on the far end stepped in, looked like he was going to throw his flag, and stepped back.
And he says no. I kind of thought I saw that little hitch, but maybe they didn't go, and that'll be now a false start on Douglas. Wow, what a wild turn of events that ended up being. So they're going to let Jackson Hughes kick a long field goal here, would be my guess.
52-yarder? That's what it could be.
Jackson had the state's best field goal a year ago, I believe. He has a 39-yarder this year. He's 4 of 7. This will be a 51-yarder out of the hold of Brock Pyle. 51-yarder, hash mark right. with 96 seconds left to play in the third quarter. Kick is not going to be close. Barely gets to the end zone. It'll be a touchback, though. Wolverines will get it at their own 20-yard line. And, you know, why not give him a chance in game situation? He's got a good leg. He must have that range for Coach Rhodes to let him go ahead and try it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a win-win situation.
You would have thought they might have let him go for a 47-yarder prior, a 46-yarder before the false start, but
I can't imagine as a kicker kicking a hard football when the temperature's, what are we at, 50 degrees right now?
Yeah, 52.
Then again, I was never a kicker, so it might not be that bad. Can't help him, though.
No, and like I said, ball is cold. Minute 31 left to play. In the third quarter, Wolverines have had 2 3-and-outs in their 2 possessions in this quarter. Hutch just going to go student body right. He'll take it to the sideline and be knocked out of bounds there. But he'll get a good 8 yards before he gets knocked out of bounds by Dustin Nunn. 8-yard carry by Nate. 42 yards on 11 carries tonight for Hutch. He's got 9 for 19 passing, 112 yards.
That was a good play right there. You know, just get some positive yards on first down. Give yourself some good down and distance to work forward.
Got a slate gray scoreboard tonight rather than the colors of the 2 teams that we normally have, as I notice, as Payne carrying the ball gets slammed to the turf, but not before he gets a first down. And gets up a little slow as Wolf gets credit for the tackle. Dominic nearing that century mark. They'll call Hernandez in there as well. Dominic 5'10", 190. Dom's going to come off and pull the helmet off. And I don't know why, but in the last 2 or 3 games that I've watched in football, there have been a lot of hard slams to the turf at all levels after watching Tua and the Dolphins that night, just becoming that much more aware of that slam to the turf. Hutch going to throw it out. It's going to be caught by Ty Sheets, and he'll have his pins taken out underneath him by Christian Johnson. Sheets will pick up a 4-yard carry.
Yeah, that Tua situation, that's scary to watch as a football fan. And, you know, I have 3 boys coming up in football, and I love football, but that stuff right there makes you,
yeah, perspectives a lot of things, doesn't it?
It really does.
Watching the replay here. Little quick pitch and catch and a good open field underpinning tackle. 49-7, by the way. Vincent bobbles it, gathers it back in, and he'll break tackles. He'll come back the other way. He'll scoot across the 45, down at the 50. How about that run?
Vincent on the carry.
Flag down, however.
Gain of 10.
Never a good thing to see yellow flag on the field after a cutback.
11-yard gain. Cade will go stand on the flag, trying to hide it.
They get us on a legal block or a crackback.
Crackback block? Is that what you're saying?
Yep.
That's what happens when that play goes against the grain sometime like that. Looking through the binocs when I was watching it real time, I didn't see anything like that, but he bobbled the snap, and he's got a lot of people coming back the other way. And, oh, there it was right there when he knifed between those 2 players. Yeah, good call by the officials. They were right on that one as he knifed right through 2 players, and they'll obviously take the penalty, and they'll bring it back to the 35-yard line.
Which is really unfortunate for Braden because that was a really, really tough run.
Final play of the third quarter, throwing it out behind Ty Sheets, who almost makes a one-hander at the 48. Will not be the final play of the quarter.
He might have had some room to run on that one.
Yeah, Archuleta was giving chase, but I think that Sheets might have had a good step on him. 6 seconds left to play. Nathan, unfortunately, 1 for 5 for just 4 yards And they've only run for 13 yards in this quarter. Total of 17 yards of offense in the third quarter for the Wolverines after racking up, 245 in the first half, and nothing doing on that run. That will finally end the third quarter, and the Wolverines will face 4th and long when we come back after this 1-minute timeout. 49-7 Bearcats out in front. We'll be back after this 1-minute timeout. This is Wolverine football from County 10 and the Sports Network.
We are Maven. We focus on the fundamentals, clean, simple designs with the very best modern materials and technologies. We refuse to compromise our mountain town roots to follow the well-worn path to $1. We choose instead to make game-changing gear and use it in the places and pursuits that inspire us every day. We are Maven, a company focused on the design and creation of innovative products for and by the modern outdoorsman.
Perfect Power is a proud supporter of athletics and student athletes all across Fremont County. Perfect Power provides services for residential, commercial, and industrial jobs. Darren Hubble, owner and master electrician, has over 30 years of electrical experience. Darren's trustworthy team of professionals can get the job done right. Perfect Power, serving Fremont County and surrounding areas. Stop into 1320 West Main Street, Lander, or give him a call at 307-332-7184.
Catch Tiger football all season long, streaming on County 10's YouTube channel.
Have some liners left over from the Lander-Riverton battle and catch Tiger football. They were up 21-0 as the RHS band plays. Kyle's camera got a little dark on us, it looks like. 4th down for the Wolverines.
New punter.
Yeah, they let Nathan Mills punt it away, and it's a high spiral that will bounce back, and Gabrielson will down it at the 35-yard line. 31-yard punt, no return. Nathan he took a shot at tryouts the other day in practice. So, game pretty much removed of doubt. The Wolverines in that quarter, 17 total yards of offense, 99 yards of offense by the Bearcats in the third quarter.
So really, statistically speaking, as the first half went, it was kind of a bad quarter for both teams.
Right, exactly. 460 yards of offense for the Bearcats so far, 206 in the air, 254 on the ground. Hughes 112 yards. Wren 62, Ewing 55. Got a new QB out there. Carrying it himself is
number 9.
Number 9, Cash Tillard. And he'll come out immediately after that 8-yard run by Tillard.
Watching both Douglas and Star Valley live, I think if those two teams were to match up in the playoffs, that's going to be a really good game.
Tillard back in at QB. He must have ran to the sideline to get the play because he's right back out there again. Archuleta, the up man. Tillard's going to roll out to pass. He's going to take it on the run. Ryan Cox gets most of him. Bryce Mason gets the rest of him. And it's going to go maybe a yard, or is there no gain on that play? About a gain of a yard.
There wasn't a lot there. I think they're starting to let the big boys up front do a little more holding.
And I guess I'm going to give the edge to Star Valley. I think about 60-40, maybe 75-25 in that. Just their explosiveness at all kinds of positions. But they've been down 2 running backs, have been Star Valley. Derek Astle, the returning All-Stater, did not play against the Wolverines and missed some games. 3rd and a yard, toss backwards. And Ty Sheets and Cade Gabrielson hang on to Wagner, but he'll cross the 50 to the 47-yard line. 7-yard carry.
One thing about it, if they do play, one team will be making one heck of a trek to get to the game.
And it happens more often than not. It's been Jackson and Douglas that have been playing the last couple of years in the semifinals. 47-yard line. Reminds me, I'll get you a score update here in just a couple of minutes. Tillard hands off on a draw play. Bryce Mason will knock down Brody Wagner after about a 5-yard completion, or a 5-yard carry.
You know, watching the Douglas receivers, they do a lot of good things. So that was a run play up the middle. They knew they didn't have to worry about blocking their guy, so they ran a route behind him. It really makes the defensive backs hold off from getting in on the tackle.
Makes him work for it. 9:19 left to play here in the fourth quarter on the Fremont Therapy scoreboard. Got a few more live reads we've got to get through. Also thanks to Wind River Internet. Also thanks to Maven providing these wide binocs. Archuleta has it thrown behind him. He'll be hit by Jackson Hill first. He'll squirt out of that tackle and be about a yard shy of a first down, will be Archuleta.
It'd be interesting to see what his yak yards are in a season, because he doesn't get brought down right away.
Yeah. Yards after contact.
Yep.
Yards after catch, yards after
carry. I guess in the NFL it's probably carry, yeah, or after catch. But yeah.
Cox and Hutchison will come out. It's going to go back out onto the field. Third down, less than a yard. Archuleta ahead of Wagner. Motion man Pearson. Tiller's just going to carry it himself across the 35 to the 34 and a first down. 4-yard gain by Tillard. 3 quarters of work tonight, pretty much for the Bearcat varsity. Built a 42-7 lead at halftime. And now with 8 minutes left to play, have a 49-7 advantage. Some of those other scores that we can talk about. They have gone final in Afton. Number 1 Cody beating number 2 Star Valley 35-25, the score tonight. Buffalo leading Worland 42-7.
Worland's really fell off from what I thought they were going to be at the beginning of the year.
Tillard keeps it himself. He's going to get into the secondary where Gabrielson will make the tackle and had to pull down a bunch of other Bearcats with him. 18-yard carry.
It's a tough run by the quarterback.
Tough tackle by, and Kate and I were talking about it at the dinner table. He's like, I didn't have as many points. And I'm like, that's because your defensive line and linebackers had a great game. You didn't need to make those points at safety, and he's unfortunately going to have a big night defensively tonight as well in that secondary position. First and 10 Cats at the 15-yard line. That's going to be snared out of the air. Picked off by Bryce Mason.
What a play.
Nice job by Bryce snaring that one-handed at the 5, and he picks off the Tillard pass.
And he doesn't know who to give the ball to. Nobody wants the ball.
Yeah, he punt it to the Douglas sideline. It's their ball, and finally he'll wing it that direction. Here's the replay of that play by Bryce Mason. He just drifted back into coverage, throws an arm up, and snares it down. Great job, Bryce. First and 10, Wolverines at their own 5. 7 minutes left to play in the contest after the second turnover of the night by the Bearcats. And I think did Riverton get a timeout called? They had too many guys on the field, and they do take the timeout. 7:01 left. We got to get some more live reads in, thanking our friends for the Fremont Therapy scoreboard. Your scoreboard tonight is brought to you by Fremont Therapy in Riverton and Lander. For more than 25 years, Fremont Therapy has been Fremont County's leader in physical and occupational therapy. They're proud to provide experienced clinicians to support our athletes and their families. They wish all the Fremont County teams the best of luck this season. Fremont Therapy and the Fremont Therapy scoreboard.
Tyler Watson, State Farm agent, a proud supporter of Riverton High School athletics. State Farm doesn't want you to forget the old memories, but they want to make sure your future is protected. Stop in and see Tyler, 618 East Washington, or go online, insuringriverton.com.
Or just come talk to me and Tyler in the booth. You're off work, though.
That's right.
You're a radio guy / TV now. New quarterback and a new running back, as well as Jackson Larson hands that one off.
Is that Gattenbein quarterbacking right there?
Yeah, Hunter Riemann. Is it him or is it? Oh, it is Blake Gattenbein. Hunter Ryman with the carry. No gain.
Yeah, Blake had a great Froshmore game earlier today. I bet he had 140 yards on the ground.
They did a good job there. Saltzgaver called back into the formation by Mason Hutchison. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We might have 12 guys out there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I think we have 12 guys on the field right now for the Wolverines, and they break the huddle with 12, and so that'll be a penalty. Half the distance to the goal line will back them up to the 2.
I will say that it is a good thing that you still have 12 guys that are wanting to be out on the field
exactly.
right now.
Beats the alternative of playing with 8.
Yep.
Or something like that. And isn't it weird? I mean, and you probably have the same football vision, how 12 can just look like too much versus 11. I mean, it's one more dude out of a dozen, but you can tell. You're just like, hey, we have too many guys out there, and that's exactly where I was. Gattenbein to Riemann, cuts it back to the other side. He'll be cut down there by Hunter McReynolds. And it's going to bring up 3rd down and 11, maybe 3rd and 10.
This is a tough play call because as a sophomore quarterback, you don't really want him hanging out in his end zone to throw a pass.
Right, 3rd and 12. Wolverines will be on the road next week at Buffalo. 6 o'clock kickoff. From Buffalo, they are trouncing Worland right now, 42-7 are the Bison in that one. Riverton's won the last 2 against Buffalo. Actually, no, they've split. Throw it out, Saltzgaver, 15. He'll have a 1st down.
Great play.
Hunter McReynolds will bring him down. That'll be a 12-yard completion. Gattenbein to Branson Saltzgaver. Cousin to the kicker, Hunter Saltzgaver, or Salt Shaker, as Coach Anderson calls him.
And brothers to the old speedster Brody Roden.
That's right, cousin and brother. Hand it off to Riemann, carries both ends of the football. He's got some room to go out to the 25, the 30, 35, stays on his feet, down to the 40-yard line.
Great cutback. I don't think anybody on Douglas was expecting him to cut back against the grain, and he did. And paid off for him.
23-yard carry by Riemann puts the Wolverines over the 300-yard mark of the night. But a 250-yard performance in the first half got them there. They are 35-19, so what's that? 54 yards of offense in the second half is all for the Wolverines. 4:20 remaining in the contest. Your Bailey Enterprises post-game show will be coming up at the conclusion of this ball game. Riemann bobbles the snap. He'll be cut down by McReynolds again as he's getting some varsity points is McReynolds. Gain of about 4 for Ryman.
It looks like right now both of our Froshmore teams for both Douglas and Riverton are getting their half quarter, so they're 4.5 quarters in today.
Right, yeah, played 4.5, which the Wolverine Froshmore's won 33-14. Luke Pointkowski, big fella out there, is a sophomore, 5'9", 280 in the middle of that Douglas defense. Working against Nathan Mills, the Wolverine center. Gattenbein steps back to pass. He'll throw one. It's tipped, and it is picked off. Taking it is Edgar Sosa. Sosa will run out of bounds at the 25-yard line. That one's not on Gantenbein. He put it right at the Wolverines in the numbers, and Sosa picks him off, and he'll take it into the Wolverine red zone almost to the 25-yard line.
As a receiver, I do think we should change that rule where if it goes in your hands and out of your hands, it should be your interception.
Watching the replay on this one, and you just see it, boink, and then right there, opportune play right through him and coming back the other way. 1st and 10, Bearcats. They will sprint to the line with 3:17 left to play. Tillard, backup QB, stays in. He'll toss it to the outside. And it's Brody Wagner carrying the football.
Wagner on the carry.
He will go 8 yards. Brody Wagner, 5 carries now, 16 yards. Clock stops as they run out of bounds. Ryan Cox, Lyric Gordon getting some defensive time out there for the Wolverines. Ben Gardner, those 3 down linemen in the 3-5 set. And a timeout is called. I believe it's the final timeout of the game for the Wolverines.
Yeah, we had 12 guys on the field again.
Yeah, that'll happen. We've done that a couple of times, trying to even things out. Again, big thanks to Maven. Big thanks to Wind River Internet. And we'll say one more thanks to Porter's as well.
Thank you to Porter's Supply Company in Riverton for sponsoring our broadcast. Porter's reminds you that winter is right around the corner and it's time to prep your wood, gas, or pellet stove for the season. They've got everything you need from new installs to supplies and accessories. Porter's on North Federal in Riverton and online at portersmvs.com. Tonight's broadcast doesn't end when the clock runs out. Stick around for the Bailey Tire and Auto post-game show. Bailey's employs over 130 Fremont County residents and is always looking for career-minded individuals to work in a variety of departments. Check out gowithbailey.com to learn more.
Second down and a couple. Motion man, Pearson. Tillard's going to keep it himself. Outruns. Jackson Hill doesn't let him outrun him. He'll bring him down to the 10-yard line, but that'll be a 7-yard carry and a first down. First and goal now for Tillard. 5 carries, 38 yards for the backup QB.
Jackson did a good job staying away from the horse collar right there. He brought him back in and then spun him out of bounds instead of bringing him straight down.
The 12-yard line, not the 10. Tillard, toss, Wagner, corner, diving down, and Branson Saltzgaver takes him down at the 3.
Wagner on the carry.
He's going to go for about 12 yards.
We had a lot of black jerseys over there. He made an attempt at the end zone, but I'm glad they stood strong and held him out.
529 yards of offense tonight for the Bearcats. 2:30 left to play on the Fremont Therapy scoreboard. 49-7 is our score. Could be more here in the next couple of minutes as the Bearcats line it up at the 2-yard line. Tillard going to follow that big center of his. Referees finally give the indication, a 2-yard carry by Tillard and a touchdown for the Bearcats. 2:06 remaining in the contest. Get one more of our live reads in for you here in a few minutes. Jackson Hughes back on to attend the PAT. He was 14 of 16 coming into the game. Pretty accurate. Tried a 50-something yard field goal tonight. Pyle did well just to get that ball down, and it is good. Boy, good hold by Pyle to save the day for that one.
I thought you were going to commentator jinx him right there.
It's been known to happen for sure. 56-7. Mercy rule has been put into effect here from Wolverine Field. And one more thanks, this one to Gambles.
Hey, Riverton, thanks for tuning in tonight to support RHS Athletics. Broadcasts are made possible by great sponsors like Gambles on Main Street in Lander. Shane, the owner of Gambles, has truckloads of furniture waiting just for you. Delivery is always free within 30 miles of the store, and that includes all of Riverton. A big thanks to Shane at Gambles on Main Street in Lander.
Going to say a big thanks to you, Tyler, for sitting in with me on the booth tonight. And you've usually you've coached, you've played, you've reffed, and now the quadfecta you've broadcasted.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you asking me. The biggest thing I worried about was my Watson-isms coming out.
You've done well.
My wife told me numerous times throughout today, don't talk fast. So I hope I haven't.
You have done very well. Matter of fact, probably let you and might have Travis McIntosh join me on the road the next 2 games in Buffalo and Worland, and former coach, former player as well, head coach of our Riverton girls basketball team. Ball's going to be bobbled in the backfield, picked up by Payne, and he'll go down there. Some fresh numbers and legs in there. Matt Hauser had a little indecision trying to battle that one, and instead Payne picks it up, takes it to the 18-yard line. And this one's become a JV 3A East Conference game now. Clock running on the Mercy rule at 56-7. Bearcats out in front of this ball game. Thanks to Kyle Nikoloff as well. He's provided us with some awesome shots down there on the field, both on Friday and Monday, and then again here today. Andrew Sossaman. I told him he didn't have to work tonight, but he showed up, and so I put him to work here tonight. So appreciate Andrew coming in and stepping in. And, of course, Thomas Dent III, our technical director all season long. Gattenbein is going to run to the boundary and be tackled there by Edgar Sosa, who made that interception just a little while ago. Maybe 2 more plays, and this one will be over. Gain of 4 for Gattenbein.
It's good to see our young kids getting some varsity playing time. I know they're playing against the same kids they did earlier today, but there's something to be said to be under the lights in a varsity contest.
Well, Blake, just a freshman out there for the Wolverines, getting some of that varsity time. Shotgun, steps up, throws. That'll be caught by Hunter Saltzgaber. He'll take it to the 30, 35, and gets sandwiched between a host of Bearcats. A 12-yard catch by Hunter Saltzgaber.
On that note, that's freshman to freshman.
Yeah, it is.
Some freshmen earning some varsity letters tonight. Good to see. I guess Hunter would already have his. He's been kicker all season.
Correct. But good nonetheless. Final play of the game. If they can get the ball snapped, they do. Ryman takes it, and he'll be stormed under after a 4-yard carry, and this ball game is over. Didn't get a whole lot of use out of that cannon tonight, unfortunately, for the Wolverines, but appreciate those guys showing up game in, game out to provide a little percussion on the night. Final score on the Fremont Therapy scoreboard is the Douglas Bearcats 56, the Riverton Wolverines 7. Final count here tonight. It was a lot of Bearcats early and often as they built a 42-7 lead. They scored twice in the second half. Wolverines did not score in the second half. Wolverines end up with not quite 80 yards of offense in the second half, and most of that coming on a Hunter Ryman 23-yard run and that 12-yard catch from Gattenbein to Saltzgaber for a majority of the offense there, as well as you see the teams going through the end of game handshake at midfield. 8:30 in the Mountain West. Your final score, 56-7. The Bearcats beat the Wolverines. We'll be back after this timeout. A 2-minute break. This is Wolverine football from County 10.
Gales Carpet Floor and Home is happy to support student athletes in sports across Fremont County. Gales Carpet One Floor and Home has been a Fremont County fixture for decades, specializing in flooring, window coverings, and cabinets, as well as the professional, certified installation of those products. Stop into Gales Floor and Home today at 220 East Main Street, Riverton, or see them online at galescarpet1riverton.com.
Tires, and more tires. Bailey Tire and Auto Service offers a huge selection, great prices, and fantastic service.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, this is Haley. With over 13,000 tires to choose, Bailey has tires for your ATV, farm implement, car, truck, trailer, semi, lawnmower, wheelbarrow, you name it. If it has a tire, Bailey Tire and Auto Service can fix it or replace it. Bailey Tire and Auto Service is your one-stop complete tire and service shop. Just remember, with Bailey's, there's no tricks, just tires.
Keep it local. Try it on, save time and money on returns, and get advice in person at Bells & Bows. Our business is your best local source for quality clothing like Liverpool and keeping your look fresh every month with our new collections bag. These monthly collections bags feature anything you can imagine yourself in, and the best part is we will ship it everywhere. But if you live locally, we can drop it off right at your doorstep. Bells & Bows, your local solution to keeping you looking stylish for anything that comes your way. Stop in today at 309 East Main Street in Riverton or visit us online at bellsandbows.rocks.
Brown Sugar Coffee Roastery is proud to be a supporter of athletics and student athletes all across Fremont County. Brown Sugar is a locally owned and operated restaurant located in downtown Riverton. Their passion is coffee and locally sourced foods. Be sure to stop in for dinner service and look for a new menu coming soon. Brown Sugar Coffee Roastery. See them online at brownsugarcoffeeroastery.com or stop in at 203 East Main Street, Riverton.
Central Wyoming College has a new Bachelor of Applied Science degree in Early Childhood Education.
Being a teacher has always been a dream of mine.
This degree combines the academic, assessment, and classroom management content that students need to be successful in the classroom. Gain knowledge in how young children grow and develop physically and cognitively, and guide them to social and emotional development.
What I really like about the education program here at CWC is that we get a lot of classroom experience.
Make your way at CWC.
Wolverine Band welcomes you back to Wolverine Field, and they have sounded great. Like you said, would have been nice to hear the old school song played a few more times tonight. As it were, got on there once in a 56-7 loss to the Douglas Bearcats. And this game started weird. Riverton fumbled the opening kickoff. Douglas fumbled the opening play from scrimmage. You thought, okay, here we go, play some ball. And then after that, Douglas would score on short scoring drives, a 7-yard scoring drive on a pass to Jackson Hughes. They had a 24-second scoring drive, a 1:38 scoring drive, a 35-second scoring drive, and they would rack up some pretty big yards in the interim of that. Their longest was 2 minutes and 57 seconds was probably one of their longest drives of the night, and then they scored on that as well. So
yeah, they showed tonight that they have a lot of horsepower in that offense. Defense looked good because our offense put up a lot of yards between the goal lines. We had a great offense tonight. We just couldn't punch it in more. Douglas proved that they're in it for they're going to be in the mix. Obviously, we know that Cody's head and shoulders above 3A, and really, when you look at it, probably 4A too. I mean, I think there's probably 3 teams in the state that would play with them.
Yeah, you got East Sheridan and. Star Valley only lost by 10 tonight on the home field, however, but and they may meet again, and you always say the team that loses makes more adjustments than the team that wins, so interesting to see how that would go. The Douglas Bearcats would run 54 plays tonight, racking up 531 yards. That's 9.8 yards per play for the Douglas Bearcats tonight. Wolverines would run 57 plays, so they had 3 more plays than did the Bearcats, but they had 326 yards.
Like I had mentioned, I think our offensive output's been tremendously better these last 2 games than the first, week 6? We just finished week 6. So the first 4 weeks, we had a little bit of struggle, but then we did play a tougher schedule to start the season. There's nothing to hang our heads about tonight. We played well. We were missing 2 of our best players. And really, this game meant nothing other than seeding in the conference because playoffs are still in front of us.
Well, and if you win it, you kind of guarantee yourself a spot in the playoffs. Now the Wolverines have 2 more chances to do that, and doing that on the road next week against Buffalo is going to be kind of a tall order after Buffalo's been smacking Worland around a little bit tonight, winning 49-7. The final score there. Take a look at some other stats in this ball game individually for the Wolverines. Nathan Hutchison, 10 of 21, 116 yards. He was intercepted twice. Blake Gantenbein, 2 for 3, 24 yards. He was intercepted once tonight. Wolverines also had a fumble, so 4 turnovers on the Wolverines tonight, 2 turnovers on the Bearcats. Dominic Payne, 11 carries, 89 yards, 8.1 per carry, I guess you go there. Braden Vincent, 3 carries for 16 yards. He had the touchdown. Hunter Ryman, 5 carries, 33 yards. Nathan Hutchison, 11 carries, 42 yards. Sheets and Gantenbein each with a carry as well. Receiving tonight, Nick McIntosh had 5 catches, all of that early on in the onset of this broadcast. He had 40 yards. Ty Sheets, 3 catches for 50. Kate Gabrielson, 2 catches, 26 yards. Hunter Saltzgaver, 1 catch for 12. Branson Saltzgaver, 1 catch for 12 in the ball game as well. 186 on the ground, 140 through the air for the Wolverines here tonight. They did amass 326 yards of offense. On the other side, for the Douglas Bearcats, Trey Rinn, 11 of 16, 206 yards and 3 touchdowns. That's 69% clip, 206 yards and 3 touchdowns. Pretty nice night for Trey Rinn. Very adept quarter. I mean, he's a pretty darn good quarterback back there, the junior for the Bearcats.
Really impressed me on both the running and the throwing.
Jackson Hughes, 5 carries, 112 yards tonight. Carson Ewing, 8 for 55. Archuleta, Tillard, 5 carries apiece. Wagner had 7. Luke Ewing had 1. Trey Rinn, 6 carries, 62 yards. And I might have been as impressed watching him run through traffic there as I was watching him throw the ball out there tonight. 206 on the air, 325 on the ground for the Bearcats. Brock Pyle, 5 catches, 147 yards and a touchdown. Luke Skeen had a touchdown, 2 catches, 19 yards. Jackson Hughes had a touchdown as well, 2 carries. He had 2 on the ground rushing, 2 catches, 8 yards. Carson Ewing, 2 catches, 32 yards in the ball game. Time of possession in favor of the Wolverines by 8 whole minutes. They have the ball 8 more minutes than did the Bearcats, but a lot of that was due to the fact that they had short drives in the entire contest and taking advantage of kind of short field there as well. We'll take our final timeout. We'll take a break. We'll come back. I don't have a coach that I see, and I was looking to see. We'll pick our player of the game as well, brought to you by the Lander Medical Clinic. 56-7, the Bearcats win it. We'll be back after this final timeout. This is Wolverine football from County 10 Sports Network.
Brown Sugar Coffee Roastery is proud to be a supporter of athletics and student athletes all across Fremont County. Brown Sugar is a locally owned and operated restaurant located in downtown Riverton. Their passion is coffee and locally sourced foods. Be sure to stop in for dinner service and look for a new menu coming soon. Brown Sugar Coffee Roastery. See them online at brownsugarcoffeeroastery.com or stop in at 203 East Main Street, Riverton.
Central Wyoming College has a new Bachelor of Applied Science degree in Early Childhood Education.
Being a teacher has always been a dream of mine.
This degree combines the academic, assessment, and classroom management content that students need to be successful in the classroom. Gain knowledge in how young children grow and develop physically and cognitively, and guide them to social and emotional development.
What I really like about the education program here at CWC is that we get a lot of classroom experience.
Make your way at CWC.
Elevate Rehab in Lander is a proud sponsor of sports in Fremont County. Elevate offers physical and occupational therapy and specializes in hand therapy. Elevate Rehab also offers one-on-one personalized treatment for every patient. Their dedicated team of highly skilled and specialized therapists will help you on your journey back to better health and mobility. Elevate Rehab, 535 East Main, Suite D in Lander.
Fremont Therapy Group has been a proud supporter of Wyoming athletics for more than 25 years. Locally owned by therapists, Fremont values commitment to professionalism and community. With specialized training and one-on-one service, they get you back to doing what you love. Whether you need rehab for an injury from a sports-certified specialist or therapy from the only certified hand therapist in Fremont County. With 6 locations in western Wyoming, they provide aquatic therapy, dry needling, and women's health therapy. To find out more about Fremont Therapy Group or schedule an appointment, go to fremonttherapy.com.
Your home for the Riverton Wolverines is 105.1 Jack FM and County 10's YouTube channel. Go Big Red.
Back on the Bailey Enterprises post-game show, John Gabrielson talking with head coach Troy Anderson of the Wolverines. And, one thing I pointed out was 248 yards in the first half and then held to just 78 in the second half. But the score, even at halftime, was 42-7, despite the fact you put up 250 yards. It was just very short drives that they took on short fields as well.
Yeah, I mean, some picks. And, I think the couple things that resonated with me is when we came out from half, it's real easy for youthful teams to just oh man, and get inside your own brain and to come out and have a couple fourth down stops there in the second half. That'd be something I'd hang my hat on. And that first part of the game where we lost it on the kickoff and then played one later. I mean, that's a game where a game of that confidence stuff where if you can get a couple of those things going your way. I mean, they're really good athletically. They are as slippery and quick down the field and as you could kind of ask for in the 3A football, I would say.
I don't know how many times you had Rinn pinned for losses, and he turns it into double-digit gains.
Yeah, I mean, and that's why they have him back there. I mean, they're able, early in the year to diversify and move Jackson out of the quarterback spot into the slot, and they made themselves a lot better. And then, we saw it on film, and we knew it was happening. It was coaching points of, we got to be sure tacklers, track near hip stuff. And, I mean, he's just a really good football player.
How do you come back now? I mean, and you mentioned it earlier, too. This was like playing on a Tuesday because you had to play on Monday. And I think maybe in that third quarter you kind of noticed some tired legs. And I don't know if that was because so much of playing on Monday or so much of what the score was. But how do you come back now? You've got a traditional week to come back and go on the road these final 2 games to get a playoff spot.
Yeah, it'll almost feel like a long week, right? And so that's kind of cool. And that's what I told them is we're just going to recalibrate and get guys in. Got a couple guys, just a little tiny stuff, nothing major. Hopefully we get the academic monster off of our back and do our classroom stuff like we were always going to support our educators for there. And hopefully Derek is in protocol by Monday and ready for Friday. And when we add a couple more bullets to the gun, if you will, proverbially, then maybe we will show up there. And like you said, that's what we talked to him on the field. There's a chance for playoffs, right? You go 3-2 in a conference, you're going to be in a shot.
Yeah, Cody defeated Star Valley tonight, 35-25. Buffalo handled Worland 49-7.
It's a little surprising. I wonder if they maybe got a little beat up against Douglas last week or something. I mean, Douglas can have that effect on people.
Yeah, and Green River went to and beat Jackson 33-17 tonight. Fifth-ranked Bronx and Lander blanking Rollins 28-0. Powell's up 21-zip on Evanston, but on the road next week against the Bison, who for being what I think the smallest school in the division, they play pretty tough.
Man, they are salty, and I'm sure it's senior night up there, right? We're going to go right back into it. So, I mean, I guess that's the possibility to play a little bit of spoiler, which is kind of cool. Last time we were there, we played pretty well. We played against a really tough team that was having a tough year. But I think they're pretty full of seniors. I think they got 20-some guys. So, I think we're going to have to come bring an A game, if this result that we're seeing right now, to put up on a team of Worland that's been pretty competitive across the board this year. That means we need to have our stuff together.
2 real quick questions. One, you took away Tyree's helmet, it looked like. Is he okay?
Yeah, he's okay. It's just soft tissue.
Okay.
He's going to get evaluated tomorrow. I mean, that kid is so dang on tough. I mean, that kid, you forget that he's a sophomore.
Right.
And so, yeah, we took him out. And it gave us a chance to get a good look at Bryce. So hopefully we get a chance if you want to speak with him and Braden when they get out. I don't think they've come out yet.
Braden's down there, but we've had him at the Rollins game, so be great to catch up with Bryce. But and then one last thing, just talking about your seniors playing their final regular season home game here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, like this is the thing, right? Like to me, like like being at home the last time, and this is just me, maybe I'm weird, but like the real one is that that final time, like, I mean, we were home last year and it was awesome, and I got to spend some time, and I've been kind of thinking about it, pre-planning it, because it's inevitably coming. Like, how do I get to spend time, a little bit more time with these guys when we're up in Worland, man? I might have to delay the bus or something or whatever, but like, it's so precious to be on a field in pads. Here as we had a great crowd of grid tonight, like three times in 7 days. That's awesome. So thank the community. But that's the thing that I've been thinking about is just we got to be able to get a chance to spend some time with these guys when we're up in the world, and we might be up there with a win and get in on the line.
Let's see it happen. Troy, thanks for coming up.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Talk with you if you'll send Bryce over here. That would be great. And he is actually our player of the game here tonight. And we could have went a few different directions with our POG tonight. It is brought to you by Lander Medical Clinic for your player of the game. And I got some defensive stats here that I will read aloud to you as well. Thanks to Travis McIntosh for providing us that. Braden Vincent, 22 defensive points tonight for the mean Wolverine out there. Cade Gabrielson, 15 points tonight. Dominic Payne had 15 points tonight. Bryce Mason had 13. And two big plays stick out. One was the fourth down where he blitzed through the line and caught Carter Archuleta and knocked him down. And then the other was the one-handed pick at the 5-yard line. That was awesome.
Yeah, no, he played well. Yeah, he showed out tonight. And as a sophomore, playing against that team and making some big plays, it was good to see.
I think he's a junior now this year.
Is he a junior?
Bryce is already gone? Okay, we already missed Bryce, but Bryce is our Lander Medical Clinic player of the game. And Tyler, any final thoughts that you have? As you got to regroup now and go play a tough Buffalo team on the road.
Yeah, and like I kind of heard Coach Anderson saying, this is one of those quick turnaround games. It's tough to implement everything you want to in 3 days, really 3 days before another varsity event. Kind of forget about this. Go win your next two, get in the playoffs, and then anything can happen.
I do want to extend a great big thank you to Sarah for allowing you to come up here tonight and for her to wrestle all three boys. And I see her here with one. One's beside you. Did you lose one?
He's with Grandma and Grandpa.
Okay, all right. But I do appreciate you taking time on a Friday night to come on the game with us. And you got some more officiating to do the rest of the season?
Yep, we got Shoshone Wind River next Thursday night.
And then a big game out there in Fremont County in Pavilion.
It'll be a big game, especially with playoff implications. And then they're saying that we're probably going to get 2 playoff games, our association will. So we'll see.
All right. Again, appreciate you, A, coming up to the booth tonight and being on the air with me, and B, being a huge sponsor of the Wolverines and the Tigers and all of Fremont County sports, including CWC with State Farm, and appreciate you coming up.
Thanks for having me. It's been fun.
Thomas Dent III, our technical director, Andrew Sossaman, our camera operator, along with Kyle Nikoloff. As this has been a presentation of County10.com on the County 10 YouTube channel. Your final score, the Douglas Bearcats 56, the Riverton Wolverines 7. Wolverines on the road to Judson County. They'll take on the Buffalo Bison. 5:30 pregame with the Porter's pregame show. 6 o'clock the kickoff from Buffalo. I'm John Gabrielson. This has been a presentation of County 10 Sports.